talked about the inactivity of Fournier, the lack of involvement, and that happened tonight too in the first half. I didn't think he was all that much on the ball, getting the dribble into a shot, all the stuff we talked about. But for them to just hammer home pass after pass to him in that second half the way they did, that's so encouraging. Not only for like his confidence and his insertion within the team, but you weren't sure if that was going to be something he'd be comfortable with, catching, shooting. Not something he did all that well in Orlando. But tonight, he pretty much knocked down everything. This was the best three-point shooting game of his career. He's never hit 7 threes before. So this is
Never hit
another
7 threes?
sign. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
he's
another,
never had 20 points in the fourth. He's never done any of this stuff.
yeah, so this is a sign that he could fit well with this team in that role. A little less ball time, a little more catch and shoot action, off-ball movement. And I love the pass that they got him in the lane. This actually might have been the fourth quarter against Dallas a couple nights ago. During the comeback, a rhythm drive to the rim, through the foul, finish at the net. And I love his defense. He is such a good defender. I don't think people realize that coming into Boston. Like, he moves around the screens effortlessly. He rotates. He's got good cohesion with Smart in that sense. So he's a guy that's got to play a ton, shoot a ton, and just be constantly involved, whether it's on the ball or off the ball.
Well, he's lucky. We got to be honest. I mean, look, he had an awesome fourth quarter, and you saw things of flashes of what he did, but this was trending. I mean, my notes. This game story was what another dud game from Fournier up until the fourth quarter. Because I mean, he was 1 of 6 shooting, wasn't knocking down his threes, had a miserable air ball late in the shot clock. In that third quarter there, and it was kind of like looking at are they going to use this guy in any way that utilizes his skill set, or is he just going to go up there and every once in a while jack a shot or two and just call it a night? It was headed in the wrong direction, and then just bang, 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 he just started drilling.
Oh, it was unreal. Just splash, splash, splash. We haven't seen a run like that from individual Celtic in a while.
That was incredible. You just looked, every time I looked up, I didn't know if I'd accidentally rewound my TV. He was just he was lining up for another 3, and I was like, wow, that's another one,
And who could have done that before the deadline? You weren't going to see that from Shemi. You weren't seeing that from Green, Neesmith. You hope that draft night that this might have been the cards, but it's certainly not. So finally, there's just a capable scorer off the Jays and Kemba.
Yeah, it's a good point, Bobby. Yeah. It's a great point. I mean, you're right. I mean, who's taking that shot in the fourth quarter? Probably Smart, right? Forcing up an ugly one, or criticizing Tatum for holding the ball for 18 seconds and jacking one up. So it's definitely good to have that player. I'm not going to criticize the shooting because they all went down, but I mean, is it just going to be 3-ball jacking? I guess it doesn't really matter who you are once you come to the Celtics. Like, that's kind of what you end up doing. I don't know. I mean, I guess that's their style. I mean, they're a 3-point shooting heavy team.
They need more.
When the shots fall, everything's fine and dandy. When they don't, you have a game like you did on Wednesday. So we've been riding and you ride or die with the 3-point shot, and it feels like that's how it's going to go all season. So again, it's great that the shots fell, but I mean, if they don't, what are we talking about tonight?
Look, all threes aren't created equal, and when you have a piss poor night than you had a couple of nights ago, sure, those are going to happen too, and that's always the live by the sword, die by the sword sort of thing. When you count on the 3-point shot or outside shooting for the majority of your buckets, and you can't generate easy baskets, that's always going to be tough. But not all are created equal. When you're getting good ball movement threes, when you're driving and dishing and kicking out,
that was the difference tonight.
That's a difference. And so when you're manufacturing those shots, you're giving yourself a better chance, as opposed to whip the ball around the perimeter and whoever has it near the 5-second mark of the shot clock just shoots a 3, or shoots it early in the clock just because it's your turn to shoot it by just dribbling.
It was movement tonight. I mean, they were whipping the ball around. I mean, I think even Scal said one too many passes, and then Tatum drains the 3, but
that was because Cornette had a layup.
He was right under the basket.
He turned around.
Right. But I mean, they still worked the ball around and got an open 3 out of it. So credit to them. And you're certainly not going to criticize for ball movement, because so many times this season it's just take the ball here, your turn. You take the shot, and I'll take it next. But this time it was actually like, whether it was finding Rob, streaking to the hoop or at the basket, or whether it was whipping it around. For Tatum or Fournier, it was working tonight. I mean, good for them. Again, it's the Houston Rockets, so let's all, relax a little bit. But what I said on Wednesday, my closing thoughts was take care of business, Friday night against the Rockets, work Fournier into the game, and get some momentum going into Sunday. So that's exactly what they did.
Perfect prediction.